boys and girls. Look who else joined us for our lesson this week. It's Pete. Everybody say, hey, Pete. He came in to hang out with us today and do our math. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be learning in math. For kindergarten, we're still working with comparing numbers using that comparative language. In first grade, we're talking about comparing numbers and we're using the symbols. And today, we're going to be working with science. Using senses to explore different forms of energy. We're going to use our senses to explore different forms of energy. That's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. So let's get started with our math. Boys and girls, as you remember when we left off with kindergarten, we were talking about counting by fives. And then first grade, you were talking about counting by, kindergarten was counting by tens. I correct myself. And first grade was counting by fives. So let's count by tens real quickly. Kindergarten. So let's see how many people been studying. Are you ready? Let's go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Very good. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go ahead and count by fives with my first graders so they can go and be practicing while I'm working with my kindergartners on their skills, comparative language, and then we'll come back to first grade. Are you ready, first graders? Do my scholars have their listening ears on? Let's get ready. Let's go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 115, 120. Remember, we do not say and because we are not dealing with money. We're not dealing with addition and subtraction right now. So let's go ahead into our lesson. And we had a visitor at the door, and I think it's Diamond. And she wants to come in. So everybody just kind of focus on our objectives, and I'm going to let Diamond in. Hi, Diamond. Diamond wanted to come in and learn some math. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to start with our kindergarten. And remember, we're using comparative language. And comparative language means things like a number is greater than a number is less than a number is equal to a number. So if you can see on my board, I have some manipulatives. And is this an easy way to count or does it make it a little harder? It depends. Some people like to do mental math and do it in their heads. But what about for those people and myself that struggle a little bit with just doing numbers like that? What can we do to help us out to know which set has the most, which set has the least, or if the sets are equal to? I'm glad that you said that. We can put a number at the top. So let's count by twos and put a number at the top. 2, 4, 6, 8. So this number is 8 that goes to the top right here. 2, 4, and we have 4. So how do we read that problem or use comparative language with those objects? 8 is greater than what? 4. Excellent. Let's do the second one. And we have some big numbers here too. So let's get ready to count. We're going to count by twos. Are you ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. Let's count that again. Let's go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So that's 15. And let's count this by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So how do we read that one? 15 is greater than 10. Very good. So that we did that, let's get ready to do some problems on the back of our board. I know that you've been practicing. I saw some of you guys work, and it was awesome. But I want you to get in the habit of, boys and girls, always turn in your best work. I'm looking for neatness. If your name is John Smith, we should write it like that. So let's go ahead and talk about some numbers if we can. Let's do the number 8 and the number 10. How would I say that in comparative language? 8 is less than 10. Very good. I have another board that I'm going to get for everybody. Let's look at our numbers. Everybody concentrating? I want you to say them to yourself, and I'm going to give you a minute to think. Your numbers for the first line are 19 and 15. Your next group of numbers are 20 and 17. And your last two numbers are 10 and 13. How will we read this with comparative language? I'll give you a minute to think. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. The thing about it, boys and girls, when we're reviewing a lesson, it doesn't take as long. When we're doing the introduction to a lesson, it's a little bit more complex because we're learning the actual concepts. So are you ready? I am. Let's go. We have 19 and we have 15. So how do we read that? We should say 19 is what? Is greater than 15. Look at the second one. We have 20 and we have 17. How do we read that? 20 is greater than 17. And how do we read the last one? That is correct. 10 is less than 13 because 10 is smaller. So we need to know that 10 is less than 13. You did a fantastic job on that. Now I'm going to let you go and do your work in your for posting online. And I'm getting ready to work with my first graders. First graders, you get ready. Have you been working? I hope that you have. Now let's go ahead and go into that. While they're practicing on their numbers, we're going to talk about symbols. Remember what Ms. Brown said about the symbols. Greater than, less than, and equal to. Greater than is this symbol right here. The actual point goes to your right, and you can spell out the word right. In less than, the symbol goes to the left, and you can spell out the word left if it's going to help you. And equal to, two straight lines across. So let's do a little bit of practice. I'm going to see if I can stump you a little bit. I know you guys been working. So here's the challenge. You get to your paper, I'm on my paper. Your numbers are 87. And I want you to put a line in the middle like I did. 87, put a line in the middle, so we're going to put a sign on that. And Derek, give me a number. That's great. 109. What is the strategy that we use for this? Find the biggest number, put 2 dots. Find the smallest number, put 1 dot. Connect the dots. Who can read that out for me? Ashley? That is correct. 87 is less than 109. Let's do another one together, and then I'm going to let you do one on your own. Let's say, I'm going to try to give you a hard one. Let's say 395 and 63. 395, 63. What Ms. Brown said strategy is, find your biggest number, put 2 dots. Find your smallest number, put 1 dot, and connect the dots. Who can read that for me? Read that for me, Elijah. That is correct. 395 is greater than 63. Now, I have one problem for you to do on your own, and then we're going to do science. The number is 149 and 193. Everybody do that for me. Remember, we're using the symbols, and you should be able to talk it out as well. I'm going to do a countdown to 3, and I'll be ready for everybody to show me their papers. 1, 2, 3. Awesome job, boys and girls. Did you remember to put your 2 dots where? Exactly. 193. Your 1 dot goes where? 149, and connect the dots. So 149 is less than 193. Awesome job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Now that we've done that, let's talk about science. I keep saying social studies because I'm stuck on the other day. But in science this week, we're going to be talking about use of senses, or use your senses to explore different forms of energy. And when we're talking about energy, does anybody know the names of the energies that we discussed in class? Thermal energy, that's about heat and cool. Sound energy, that's where you're hearing vibrations or different sounds. And light energy, very good. Excellent job. So, let's do an example of sound energy. Diamond, don't be mad at me. I'm going to make some sounds. Boys and girls, that's sound energy. Anytime that you hear something that makes a sound, that's a type of energy called sound energy. Very good. That's sound energy. If you go outside right now, that's called thermal energy. It's a little hot out there, so you don't need a coat on. Now, if we had to have a jacket on, that'll be thermal energy too, but it'll be cooler energy, okay? So we had thermal energy that deals with the heat and the coolness of the weather or in the house or something like that. Where's another place you can find cool energy? You guessed it, the refrigerator. Without that, how we keep our food cool? And what's another way to have thermal energy? Yes, with the hot water or with the stove. Excellent job. Now the last one is light energy. When you turn on your electricity in your houses and you're looking at your lights or use a flashlight, that's light energy. And light energy also comes from the sun. So, boys and girls, let's just talk about what we learned in science. We talked about the different forms of energy. One is called what? Sound, thermal, and light. I want you to draw me some examples of those different types of energy that you find in your house. So, boys and girls, we talked about our math, we talked about our science, and we've done a great job working together. I want you to put your thinking caps on. I want you to get in there and write. I want you to give me your best work and post. Ms. Brown will see you later with another activity next week. Y'all have a good weekend and happy Easter!